the Manson scene, the people that are interested, the people that show up, the places they go. That's what we're going to talk about today. And if there was such a thing as the Manson scene, well, this party would be it. It's held on August the 8th. It's held by John Ansnels. He started doing it ever since he filmed his first Manson family movies, way back in the 1970s, I believe. And he started going there. And every year thereafter, he would have a party. He called it the Last Supper, and people would show up. People that were mainly interested in Charles Manson. It was held at the El Coyote restaurant, the place infamous for Sharon Tate's last meal, they say. You could even see it in it was even in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, it's there that this party of the Mansons took place. And I'm going to tell you this time about the time that Satan's grandson showed up. Stanton LaVey, the grandson of the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey. His grandson showed up. I'm going to tell you about my experiences with him that night. I got there early that night. I got there early. I like showing up early anywhere I go. I don't like being late anywhere. You know, walking and everybody looking at you. It doesn't matter if people are looking at me. I don't give a fuck about that. I just like to show up early. I was already there, and I was sitting down at the booth. You know, the booth, the so-called infamous booth that Sharon Tate ate her last meal at. I'm not even sure she ate her last meal there, you know. Like, again, that came out of Helter Skelter, and I'm not really sure I put anything in that book. And I think there was a video maybe where Scott Michaels went and he looked at coroner reports of, you know, the remains that was in people's stomachs, and it had nothing to do with Mexican food, so I don't even know if this was the place or not. But it's so-called the place. They even had it in the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you know. She goes in there for her last meal. And it wasn't her last meal in there. She just went in there then. But this time, it was for her last meal. And they celebrate this down there. I seen it in the newspaper before I ever went there for the first time. And I've been there probably at least 8 times now. I'm sitting down at the booth that Sharon Tate supposedly ate her last meal at. And all of a sudden, around the corner, I'm sitting probably in this area, and all of a sudden, this dude pops his head around the corner, like he's trying to see who's there. And I make eye contact with him, and it's Stanton LaVey. And I immediately recognized him because I've seen him in several different things before that. I've seen him in Marlon Maronick's book. He was in there talking about Manson then in the book, and his relationship and his grandfather's relationship, which I think is a bunch of bullshit too. But anyway, you know, I don't think some of the things that was said about his grandfather, like there was one thing that was said about his grandfather. He was like he was some kind of assistant or something on the movie of just total bullshit. I don't believe any of it. But anyway, this dude here is the grandfather of the guy who created the Church of Satan, who had like a lion in his backyard and hung around with a bunch of chicks, and you know, they ended up in a bunch of dirty magazines, and they're more nerdy than Satanisty. But yeah, anyway, supposedly worship Satan. I can get into that shit. Don't really care. To each his own, you know. It's not my thing. But anyway, this dude was pretty interesting. Sat right beside me, and he was really kind. He was really, you know, generous for what he had. He had a little bit of food. He offered it to me. You know, he was eating this phlegm shit. And he's like, hey, you want something? No, thanks, man. I don't want none of that shit. And he stuck his arm around me. And he was fucking twitching, man. He was twitching bad on drugs. I felt sorry for the dude. When I left that night, I really felt sorry for the dude. But anyway, we're hanging out here, and he, you know, he's basically, sometimes there'll be people who, when they show up to a Manson thing, they'll recognize me. and they'll say, wow, I watched Back Porch Tapes, and Stanton was one of the guys that recognized me, and he says, hey man, Back Porch, I need to be on Back Porch. So he was insisting the whole night that he needed to be on Back Porch Tapes, and he needed to be in a film on the Back Porch Tapes, or he needed to do something on the Back Porch Tapes, and we needed to be in, and he was a total con man, really. He was a lot like his grandfather. Actually, the way they talk about his grandfather, this dude was just like him. Anyway, we sat there, we bullshitted, and then he got up. You know, we were smoking weed. Actually, we were smoking weed out of a vape pen, and this is actually the one we're smoking out of, because I save everything. And it was done, and I told him, hey man, this is finished. He's like, oh, just keep it. And I'm like, hey man, this is like, you can use this. Oh, just keep it. So I just kept it, and here it is. And I put it together with a bunch of shit that he gave me that night, because he gave me a whole pile of shit that night. He gave me an autograph. So I says, hey, Russ, sign an autograph for me. He was like twitching so bad, man. It took him like a half an hour to do this, sitting here doing it on the napkin. I was like, man, I didn't ask you to draw me a motherfucking picture. I just wanted an autograph. So he drew an autograph for me, you know, drew it. He really drew it. He sat there, no, seriously, he sat there for like a half fucking hour signing an autograph. It was the longest autograph I've ever had signed in my entire life. But anyway, then he gets up and he goes into the bathroom, and shit, I gotta take a piss too. So I go in the bathroom, and I think Stoner went in the bathroom with me at the same time. I don't know, I can't remember. But cause Stoner Van Houten, if you watch him on, he was in the bathroom too, I think. I believe so. Anyway, I go in the bathroom, and Stanton's in the bathroom, and he's kneeling down on the ground. He's fucking up the sink, and he's crushing these pills up, and he eventually snorts them. And I'm like, damn, dude. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. It's like, I've seen that kind of shit before, but it was just, man, there's even just a lower level of sad for me, man. Because it was like, I just felt for the dude. I really felt for the dude, because he's a nice dude. I mean, can you think about, can you imagine being born into, like, the grandson? Anyway, I just felt sorry for the dude. So he's sitting down, bullshitting more. He signed his plate that he ate his phlegm on. He gave that to me too, I'll show you that. He signed his plate that he ate his phlegm on. He signed it Helter Skelter. And then on the back of it, he signed it Death to Pigs. But anyway, he was a cool dude, man. I have no complaints whatsoever. But anyway, he's sitting at the table. And I don't know if you can see that in here or not. There's like a green strip right there. Well, actually, it's a straw. It's flattened down now. But he was sitting at the table beside me, and he dropped this straw that he was snorting that shit in the bathroom with. And I picked it up, and I put it in my pocket, along with all the other shit that he gave me that night. And now I have that. I have that as a reminder of, you know, how drugs take too many people in this world. Stanton LaVey ain't no more. He's gone now. They say he died right before Christmas, December the 19th. So, if you knew this guy and you didn't know this might be a shock to you. Drugs kills people. They didn't say it was drugs. They said it was accidental. I'm only figuring it was drugs. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure a lot of people will be out there ragging on the dude, because he was quite a con man. But I'm not going to rag on the dude. Because the night that we met him, he was a cool-ass dude. You know, we smoked weed with him out of a vape pen. That was one of the first times I ever smoked weed out of a vape pen. I didn't even know you could do that, really. He was one of the first people that showed me how, and this is it. His vape pen, along with his fucking straw that he snorted his shit. I don't know what the hell he was snorting in the bathroom. But anyway, this is just a reminder of how drugs kill you. I kind of knew that night that there was a sort of a death wish going on there. And again, it's just sad. Try to stay away from dope, man. And until next time, peace.
Are you gonna put it on your website or put it on your video?
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Send a copy to Charlie. I know he'll love those lyrics. I had him in mind. I always have him in mind whenever I'm writing anything truthful.
That was cool as hell, man. I wasn't expecting it, really. Honest to God, I wasn't. That was cool as hell, man. I like that. Hope it came out good, man.
That's your Helter Skelter present.
Thanks.
Hey, I'm gonna go try to plug my phone in.